Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I am back on a monthly schedule for this month's Pod TC. It is April's edition, episode 16. Super excited because I am welcoming back my first ever guest to Pod TC. You'll probably recognize her voice at some point. She is from episode 1. Episode 1 to 16, it's been over a year since she's been here. But Melissa Swafford from Tri-C, she's the director of transfer centers, and she's also the queen of the conference this year. We'll call her that. How are you doing this today, Melissa?
Great, Jonathan. Thanks so much for having me back. I'm excited. I'm excited to have something specific to talk about this time. Last time, Mary and I talked about ourselves, and we talked about ourselves for a very long time. But I promise this is more about the conference than me.
That is okay. We like hearing about everyone. But
Yes.
yes, if you guys want to learn more about Melissa and kind of her background, I'm sure she'd be happy to let you know what she's been up to over the last year, but kind of her background, if you want to go back to episode 1, all the way back there, January 2023, you can go back to that episode and hear all about Melissa. That's usually what we start with in these episodes, but since that's already out there on the internet, we'll jump into the conference because I know that's really what people are going to look like.
Yep.
Um, is there anything that really has been going on since the last time you were on the pod, or just, your transition over to our events and professional development's the big update?
Yeah, I think I was excited as I ended my time in the president stream to transition over to events and professional development. Amanda Beans had done an awesome job, and so excited to kind of grow from where she's been and things at Tri-C where we keep on keeping on. I have a great staff and we've been busy. And so we are looking forward to the conference to reconnect with everybody as well. So, but things are good at Tri-C, good with OTC. So
That's great. Yeah, we really enjoyed keeping you on, and the events and professional development team has been completely different than the last couple of years. I don't know if you want to give a quick shout out to Helen and Ben who've been helping you.
yeah, Helen's been great. Helen Duca from University of Akron has been leading all of our virtual webinars and have put together some really great stuff. All of those are posted on the website, the recordings of them. So I encourage you to check that out.
Mhm.
And Ben from Ohio State has been helping us or has been helping me with conference details along the way. So it's not just me. I also have some help there too. So, if you ever want to get involved in committees with OTC, just let us know. Lots of opportunities, and they're easy. It's not hard.
Yes, volunteer organization. We don't ask a terrible amounts out of you. So a great way to meet people, reconnect with people throughout the year as opposed to just at the conference in person. So great plug on that. But the conference, it's coming up June 14th. So we're just under a couple of months. Can you give us more of like a general overview or what you're kind of expecting out of this year's conference?
Yeah, so I'm excited. We are at a different location this year. We are at Ohio Dominican University, and they are hosting us. Just wanted to change it up from Columbus State. We loved having our conference there, but we've got a lot of member institutions in Columbus, and so excited to be there. The conference will be held in their student union or their student center. Lots of great space for us. So that's kind of new location, which also puts us closer to the hotel, but also close to Easton. So we have some new opportunities of, where people might stay, eat in the evening, before all of that fun stuff. Free parking. We love free parking, free, easy parking. There's a lot of it. And so kind of new location. And then in terms of what to expect of the conference itself, we will have our educational breakout sessions. We have a set 7 that are scheduled. So we have some great information being presented by our membership. The Ohio Department of Ed has some really great sessions that they will be concentrating on during those breakouts. Everything from we have presentations about advising, about programs, about evaluating credit, about partnerships. So just a wide variety. So no matter where you sit in the world of transfer, we should have something for you. And then kind of new this conference that I'm really excited about we are hosting facilitated discussions during the last breakout session. We heard from a lot of people like they have areas or topics they want to talk about, but it's not something they, necessarily have a full-on presentation. But they want to talk to their colleagues. They want to talk about best practices or just kind of talk about solutions to common problems. And so we have three facilitated discussions that we're going to have. One is really about partnership and pathways, one about state guarantees, and then the other one is about, and see, that's how quickly my mind goes, but I'm going to pull it up right now because I have it. The other one is about trends in transfer recruitment. That one's very important, so I don't know how I forgot it. But those are just opportunities. There will be facilitators in the room with some guiding questions. But if you want to talk about one of those topics, you go to the room and just, interact and discuss with your colleagues. So I'm excited about that opportunity. I'm also very excited about our keynote speaker. And I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, Jonathan, or not. I think I am, but I'm just going to go ahead and talk about our wonderful keynote speaker this year. And just so you know, this is kind of like breaking news for the podcast. But Alfred Herrera from UCLA has agreed to be our keynote speaker, and we're very excited. For those who may have heard him speak at NISTS or just, read some of his research or, heard of him, he was instrumental at UCLA in developing their Community College Partnership Center. So he is retired. It'll be officially a year in June when he joins us that he has been retired. And he was the Assistant Vice Provost and Academic Partnerships and Director for the Center of Community College Partnerships. And he was actually a founding member. And for those that have heard him speak, he talks so much about the heart that you have to have for transfer and really what guides the passion and the love of this work. And I think, in terms of our theme about sustaining momentum, we have a lot of great momentum in the state. But the thing is, transfer work can be hard, and that's what Alfred talks about, and that it is the heart and the passion that really drives that and will help us to sustain that momentum. So I'm excited to hear from him. He over 40 some years working in the work of transfer. So we are lucky to have him coming to join us. So that's kind of a very broad overview. Of course, we're hoping over 100 of your colleagues from the state will join us. So you have the opportunity to connect. And I think, Jonathan, you've been tasked with the social the night before. And I know that is some people's favorite, one of their favorite parts, or at least the reason they come in the night before. So I'm sure everybody wants to know about that.
Yes, so the social is always one of my favorite parts of the conference because the conference gets kind of busy. So you're registering in the morning, you're grabbing a quick bite to eat maybe, and you might have a few minutes to speak to your colleagues while you're trying to get some coffee down to be alert enough on a Friday conference, day. And then by the time you get into the educational programs and, the award ceremony, the keynote speaker, and then pretty quickly it gets to be the end of the day, and you may have not been able to connect to some of the colleagues that you had seen, just eyeballing around the room and such. So the social is a really great way to kind of come in the night before. You stay overnight, in this case, unless maybe from the Columbus area and you're just coming out to hang out for a couple hours. That's great. Either way, is great with us. Melissa and I we're from the Northeast, so I can't speak for Melissa, I suppose, but we're going to come down the night before. I'm from Kent and, attend the social and such. So like Melissa was alluding to, that is my task. We call it, the President's pre-conference networking event. We'll just call it the President Social for this conference or for this podcast. But so yes, it was up to me to plan it this year. We had a couple of recommendations. I really liked one of them, so I reached out. Melissa had said that like Ohio Dominican's not too far from like the Easton Center, so the mall, bunch of restaurants, everything that you could really ask for in one place. And Pins Mechanical Company is a part of Easton, and that's who we've been in contact with for the the social the night before. So the timing of it, we're thinking 7 to 9 right now. We'll give a more official announcement with a very specific time. It should be that, but just in case something changes a little bit, we'll give you an update on that. But Pins is it's a bar, but it also has a ton of games. So like there's indoor yard games. I think they have a patio, or at least some of their locations do. I've not been to the Easton one, so I'm thinking of the 3 other ones that I've been to. But they have arcade games, they have skee ball, all that are just free for people that are hanging out. They have plenty of areas to hang out within the building. It's huge. They also, for a slight charge, will do things like duck pin bowling and some other games that might be maybe a step up from just playing Pac-Man off to the side or something like that. So we will be there for a couple of hours. We'll likely be doing drink tickets and stuff. So please come thirsty for, engaging with your colleagues and maybe for something else. We'll have a little bit of food there. If you're a big dinner eater, maybe I would recommend grabbing a bite to eat on your way into town, especially if we're going to start the social around 7. That should give people enough time to get a bite to eat maybe somewhere, but it's also, if you wait to eat with us, it's probably going to be a little bit of a late, appetizer type dinner. Easton has plenty of places to eat. There's also obviously, all around the Columbus area, if you're looking for something specific, you can find it. But you'll be able to hang out with us. We have a spot for a couple of hours, but our official spot for the social might dissipate after a couple of hours, but we're welcome to still continue to hang out wherever in Pins or I know some of you guys are probably going to bounce around to Easton a little bit. I know one of my things I'm going to ask Melissa, and maybe, we can just roll right into it, about where to stay the night before and hotels. I know we have if you hop onto the conference webpage, we've got plenty of options there. But if you're going to go to the social the night before, even the Easton area has a lot that are going to be right within Easton, and then some across the street that might be a little bit closer to like our allotted spend rates through the institutions, governments, stuff like that. So yes, there's plenty in walking distance to the social, which was a nice touch for us to do this year. And that's mostly what I was going to say about the social. Melissa, is there any other information you want to provide about like where to stay and like hotel accommodations for the night before?
Well, I'll get to that, but I just want to
Okay.
say I am all up for a giant Jenga game
Hmm.
and the pinball. I love me some pinball. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, whoever wants a nice challenge for Jenga, I'm up for it. Um, so, as Jonathan said, there's a list on our website on the conference webpage. There's a couple of different things related to lodging and directions. So there are 2 different lists of lodging. There is a set of lodging near Easton or at Easton that's on there. And then there is a set of lodging that is near the Columbus airport, because the airport is not far from Ohio Dominican University. So that is there. Lots to choose from. Of course, there's many, many other hotels in the Columbus area. So, but just wanted to give you guys somewhere to start with. I think the other thing that I will point out, there is very specific directions on the conference page that highlight both where everything's taking place in the student center, but also the parking lot. And I will note, don't be Melissa Swafford and Jamie Zoller and just use whatever mailing address to get there on your GPS. Use what is listed on the conference website to put into your GPS, because it will take you the wrong way and then you will get lost. So I was very specific when we put up the address. So use that in your GPS. But I think that's it. Yeah.
I think that when we went down there to do our visit in last month, I had put in just ODU in Google, and I wasn't too far off, but I was certainly in a parking lot that was a little bit further away than I needed to park. So yes, that address on the website is definitely the best one. And then just real quick again about the hotels, just to reiterate, and I don't need to ask this question, but we do not do like a block. There's not a specific hotel where everyone will be staying. You'll probably see a couple of our members at a lot of the hotels that are listed. So before you book, if you've got a buddy and you want to know where they're staying, just know that it might not be the one that you're specifically looking at on that list. And there is, just no block. So just keep that in mind. So it's just after the lunch hour. We were just talking about the social and food, and I'm feeling kind of hungry.
I
But
know.
for food at the conference, what are we looking at this year?
Yeah, so as we've done in the past, we will have like a continental breakfast morning meal. There'll be coffee, a juice, and water. We'll have water and coffee throughout the day and our main breakout. So you can definitely count on that. I am very excited about the lunch, and will make sure if you have specific like gluten allergies, dairy free, whatever, you note that when you do your registration. But we are doing a custom Mexican bowl buffet. So build your own bowl, which is great. And my favorite part, well, I think there's two favorite parts. There's queso and chips. So queso and chips, but there are churros. And not only are there are churros with dipping sauce. So I'm very excited about the food. And something that we're hoping improves the kind of timing for lunch is we have worked with the catering to have two-sided buffet open. I know that for those who might have been in the past, that sometimes that slows us down, and so we are working with catering to kind of help speed that up. So yeah, I'm excited about food. Food's always good. And I will say we are in the student center. There is, if you like espresso drinks or, whatever, there is a coffee shop downstairs in the student center that you can, we had some tasty drinks, coffee drinks from there. So you can check that one out too.
I'm not a coffee person, if you know anything about me, but it was like a full service coffee shop with even like a fridge for whatever you might be, in the mood for at that moment. If you need an energy drink, if you're really that tired, they seem to have kind of all of that. So we'll have basic coffees and like some drinks upstairs. But just, if there's something outside of those parameters that you're looking for. But yes, I'm also super excited about, I'm not the biggest breakfast eater, but lunch I usually kind of slam. So creating my own bowl and the churros always sound good. So you'll have to listen to me certain during the award ceremony and stuff while you're eating. So maybe the churros will brighten your day while you're getting through listening to my voice over an award ceremony. Anyway, um, kind of something that we're excited about this year that we haven't done the last few years. Kind of pre-pandemic was the last time we did this, but we're kind of bringing it back. We are doing some sponsorships. So do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm really excited and really thankful for the sponsorships because that allows us, one, to keep our conference rate reasonable, but also then make sure that we have, um, are fulfilling everything and we have money to operate. So we're excited about that. So we have 3 committed sponsors already, and really excited about that. There were 3 different levels. All of our members should have received that information. So we are still accepting sponsorships. So Tiffin University has come in as a presenting sponsor. So we're very thankful for that. Franklin University and the University of Akron are both going to be pathway sponsors for us. So you will be hearing more and seeing more about all those institutions. So we're excited. We're excited that they're are active participants in OTC, and this opportunity for them to share some more information and make sure we just appreciate their support of OTC and the conference overall. I did have one other thing I remember, Jonathan, that we haven't talked about yet, and that is our fundraiser for our student scholarship. Yep. So for those of you who remember, we usually do a raffle, and we do raffle tickets and all of that, and we pull a winner. And while we love that, it's just kind of like a one and done thing. And so this year we are working on getting I Heart transfer, but Ohio style t-shirts. that you will be able to purchase. You'll be able to pre-purchase those on our website and pick them up. We will have a limited number for sale at the conference. So we are going to, once that information is available, check out on our website. All of the proceeds will go to fund both the Jason Gibson and the David Gull Scholarship that we award every year. Those are $500 scholarships each semester, right? That we give out. And so we just closed one of the windows and opened another for students to apply. So very excited about that. So no raffle tickets this year, but t-shirts.
Yes, the 50-50 was something that was not clunky, but the way that we were asking people to maybe bring cash, maybe, scan in their PayPal, but then they have Cash App instead. And like there's usually a logistical hurdle with it. So we thought that, and thank you for, I was going to add it too, which is funny. We both had that thought, but we thought a t-shirt would be a really cool way. There's a local Columbus guy that's doing the t-shirts for us. So the order is in and we'll have those at the conference. The mock, I haven't seen one specifically obviously made yet since the order just got in, but the mock looks really cool and it was something we discussed as a group, and I think it'll be a really nice keepsake for those who want to buy them to wear them in the future. You can wear it, hopefully maybe you have a t-shirt day at work maybe some weeks or something that you can really show off that you like transfer. We also, like Melissa said, I mean, all those proceeds are going to go straight into our scholarship. So really helps us with committing to a certain number of those every year, because it is probably the biggest thing that we get to do for our transfer students specifically every single year. So if you can help us out with that, I'm sure we'll iron out kind of the payment methods that we do accept for that, but we'll have them at the conference and we'll be selling them at the social the night before as well. If you don't pre-purchase them, you can purchase them on the spot with us.
Yeah. And there were just a couple other things, which I failed to mention before, but the awards. We give out our awards at the conference. And if you have looked at your email, you should have an email from OTC about nominations. So encourage you to nominate your colleagues for those and get those submitted so that we can recognize all the great work that's going on. And one of the great additions that I think we have is that we have great support from the Ohio Department of Higher Education. So they will have time to do an overview presentation for us, but then this year they really have come in and we'll have some educational sessions too. But we are very lucky that they, take the time to really make sure that we understand all the initiatives and spend the day with us, all of them. And so, that is just another opportunity to connect with them, especially for those that may not be able to connect on a regular basis. So we're excited to have them there with us to learn with us and share their knowledge too. So I'm excited.
Addition, and really, because I know that ODHE obviously is a state institute, like it is something that is publicly funded and such, and we love our private institutions here as well. It's okay if you're a private institution to speak to one of our peeps that are at the state level. Most of their work, and they'll be pretty transparent with this, is pretty easily replicable, I cannot talk today, by our private institution. So if you wanted to talk about some of the even if it's as basic as a tag course or if it's getting into the nitty-gritty about stuff, they're the most friendly staff, and they will talk to you about what they're working on, how maybe you could. I remember I was talking to Jared about how complicated can even just military lingo be sometimes for people that didn't live in that world. He is so nice about laying that all out for you and just saying yeah, this is what we have been working on, but there's nothing stopping a private institution from doing this kind of stuff as well. So I don't want it to sound like we're only focusing on publics, because it's not about that. We have institutions of all different types and flavors, and we love them all.
Yeah. And I would say, I think I've seen a lot of our independent colleges take on some of the statewide initiatives and just align their curriculum and everything. And that is great for the students. Honestly, I think everything that everybody does is for those transfer students. So this is just a great time to connect. And hopefully, my goal is that everybody comes away refreshed, renewed, and to be able to kind of move forward and keep that momentum going.
Right. Yes, which is why our theme is this year.
Sustaining momentum for transfer success.
Yes, I know. If you were at NISTS this year, you might find that a little familiar. That is something that we asked. Well, Melissa asked, I should say, props, if we could continue that. And so we are kind of using the same framework, which you'll probably see in our educational sessions and, just at our conference in large. We've been talking for a while. Is there anything that, other than like the t-shirts and stuff, is there anything else you think that we missed that people should know?
I don't think so, but does anybody ever ask you what's new with you?
No.
So
I
what's new
mean,
with you?
no one cares, right? No, I'm totally kidding. People individually obviously ask me like, what's new with you? This podcast is not about me though. So it is about everyone else and the good work that people do. I appreciate you asking though. I'm totally fine. It's busy. It's the end of the spring semester. We're planning a conference. I'm in school. So I mean, it's just a lot going on, but things are really coming together, I think, in all of those different categories in my life. So it's a hopeful feeling. It's a nice feeling. I am really looking forward to seeing everyone. I mean, I know that that sounds a little cheesy, but we get to do this maybe once a year. I was thankful and I am grateful that I got to go to NISTS this year, which was nice to see people on the national stage, but there's nothing like seeing your Ohio homies here at the OTC conference in June every single year. So I am really looking forward to this, and I think it'll be a nice kind of, the spring semester will end. Maybe it'll be like a time to exhale a little bit, and then we're busy over summer and stuff. So it'll be nice to take the day and a half off for OTC again.
Yep.
Thanks for
Looking forward
asking.
to seeing everybody, including you in person.
Yes, we get to see each other
Yeah, that's
sometimes,
true.
but I do not see plenty of people throughout the year, so it is nice to see everyone. So
Early bird registration is coming to an end here soon.
yes,
And so just want to make sure everybody, you have that date that you can share?
April 22nd, it's this upcoming Monday. So the conference you can still register after the 22nd. So if you are waiting for something at work, if you're just not sure yet about can I move something around, totally understandable. The early bird rate ends, but the actual conference registration will not end until June 1st. So you still have plenty of time to register. But if you did want to save the $30 up front, it's $135 for early bird registration. That includes the social the night before, both meals the day of, the whole conference, all of that stuff, pretty much everything but the t-shirts. That's what that 135 would cover. And then the regular registration rate, so the one that will start April 23rd and run through June 1st, will be that regular registration rate of $165. If you're one of our presenters, just remember that when you do register, there's a special, what am I trying to say? A presenter rate that you can that you do qualify for, and you'll see that on the website as well. I think that's maybe something that we overshadow a lot too. Any of your offices that you have like a GA working in, or if could think that like a GA in advising or nature, like really anywhere on campus that works with transfer students, if you think that they could benefit from a conference right like this, we pretty much, I mean, we lose money on them, but like we pretty much just want them to come and cover their food is really the expense. So it's $50 for a GA to come, and there's no end to that special registration rate. So if you're already going and you have a GA, it might be a really easy sell for you in your office to just say, can we also bring along our GA? It's only $50, and really the price shouldn't shoot like that price will stay the same for them, but it might not be a huge expense on your office and stuff. So that is also going to be open. All of these things you can find on the webpage for the conference, but those are kind of the dates along those. Anything
Great.
else you can think of?
I think that's everything.
Yeah, we talked a lot, so
We did. We have this problem, don't we?
that's okay. It's a podcast about talking, and we were talking about the conference. So, thank you, Melissa. I really appreciate you. Like I said, first repeat guest, so the first
Woohoo!
person to do this twice for me. We are, like we said, looking really forward to seeing everyone at the conference. We'll have some registration information, like in the notes of this podcast episode and such. But we will see you all soon. Thanks.
See ya.